Hello guys, and welcome once again to Jonesy's question time, and thank you once again to everyone for sending in your questions this week. So let's kick straight off with a great question and one that I'm looking forward to answer. I'm not even fully decided what order I'm going in with this yet, so bear with me. But I've been asked, with 8 being the worst and 1 being the best, what order would you rate the Harry Potter films in, and why? I'm a big fan of the Harry Potter films. I basically got into Harry Potter through the films. I never really, I did read the first book, or I had the first book read to me when I was in school. I've mainly got into the actual films, and I absolutely love them. I mean, I've got the box set, and I do love them all. So sort of by saying that 8 is the worst, I don't necessarily think it is, the worst film, because I do enjoy them all. But I'm going to put at number 8, The Chamber of Secrets, just for the simple fact of Aragog and the spiders. I hate spiders. I don't. I very much dislike spiders. I've not got a full-on fear of them, but when they're that fecking size and they're very happy to eat humans, then I'm not a big fan. And watching that at the age of, God, how old would I have been when I watched that? I don't know. 10? Would I have been 10, 11 years old? I don't know, something like that. But I was not a fan at all. And also, it's kind of, whenever I think of the Harry Potter films, like the second one, Chamber of Secrets, is kind of one that I tend to forget about. There are a few good scenes in it, but it's not one that kind of always sticks with me that much, apart from the spiders. So that's at number 8. Number 7, I'm going to put Deathly Hallows Part 1. And I think a lot of people kind of agree with me. It's Deathly Hallows Part 1 is definitely the slowest of all the Harry Potter films. Usually I'm quite a fan of when sort of a film, or say a TV series or something, like if there's a particular episode or one that just kind of slows the pace down a little bit and goes into a bit more detail and there's a bit more kind of mystery to it. But for me, Deathly Hallows just dragged on that little bit too long for my liking. Again, there are some good bits. I mean, I think the bit where they're going the Ministry of Magic, and they've obviously transferred. God, I cannot talk today. There's transfigured into the other characters and everything, and they're wandering around there. That's good. I do like the whole idea of Ron slowly, turning insane, because he's got the Horcrux around his neck and everything. But yeah, it's not that I don't like it, but it's just a little bit too slow. When it comes around to kind of watching it again, it's kind of one that you have to labour through a little bit. So I'll put that at number 7. Half-Blood Prince at 6. Again, because it's got the dead Aragog at the end of it. I did enjoy Half-Blood Prince, I must admit. Obviously, you start to learn a lot more things out. Things start to become a lot more apparent. There's the obvious ending to Half-Blood Prince. I'm well aware by now that majority of people will have watched or read Harry Potter, but I don't want to spoil certain things. But yes, the ending to Half-Blood Prince, again, as someone who hadn't read the books and had somehow managed to stay away from spoilers, it was quite the shock, especially with the kind of twist element to it all. But yeah, I did enjoy Half-Blood Prince, but again, there was, apart from certain bits, there were just, things that didn't stand out that much. So getting into sort of the top 5 now, and ones that I really enjoyed. At number 5, I'm putting Prisoner of Azkaban. For some reason, this one this is one that people tend to not like, which personally I don't really understand. Obviously, it's got the introduction of Sirius. This character, this big character, but that no one really knows anything about. Obviously got Professor Lupin and everything throughout it all, and yeah, just so much happens. It's a kind of an action-packed one. You've got this character who you think is the bad guy and the person that they're trying to get away from, when actually it turns out he is the good guy. Sorry. And there's just tons of little things that happen in Prisoner of Azkaban, and such a nice, lovely character in Lupin, who I really did enjoy. Number 4, I'm going to go for the Philosopher's Stone, the very first one. Obviously, with it being the first one, it had to be such a kind of showstopper. You know, it had to get off to a good start. You know, it had to introduce so many characters. It had to properly introduce you to the whole, you know, the magic side of things and get you on board and everything, and introduce Harry's backstory, of course. I mean, it did everything right. It was absolutely spot on, the Philosopher's Stone. It was a really great episode, and I do enjoy going back to watch it, even if it is getting on a bit now. So where are we now? Top 3. My third choice is Goblet of Fire. Again, not everyone's favourite, but I absolutely loved it. I really did enjoy it. Again, it's got the introduction of a lot of new and interesting characters, some that go on to be big, and it's got such a great cast in it. I mean, obviously, you've got David Tennant, who I absolutely love. You know, I loved him before Doctor Who, but I mean, yeah, he played such a great bad guy in Goblet of Fire. Roger Lloyd Pack, who played his dad in it, who we absolutely, well, I don't know who we are. I absolutely love. Apparently, there's more than one of me at the moment. There is, of course, who else is in that one? Eric Sykes at the beginning, such a top quality legend of comedy, Eric Sykes. Timothy Spall in it, of course. And then there's the final first reveal of Voldemort at the end of that episode, played by the fantastic Ralph Fiennes, of course. And yeah, just everything that happened. I mean, there's so much action in it. You know, you've got the dragons, you've got the swimming underwater and everything. You've got the massive maze. You know, it has great effects in it. You know, you've got little bits of kind of love story starting to happen in it. And I just think the Goblet of Fire was a great kind of fourth episode, really. You know, a big kind of tinge of sadness towards, you know, at the very end and everything, and that realisation that shit's really going to start going down now. So yeah, that's number 3. Number 2, Deathly Hallows Part 2, just because it is just an amazing end, you know, of the franchise. Got it absolutely spot on with it. A great kind of build up to it, and then the actual final kind of battle for Hogwarts. Is just, again, I'm not going to spoil it for people, for those that haven't seen it, if you've been living under a rock, but yeah, I mean, so many emotional moments, so many like amazing moments, like you go get them, thinking mainly of Ron's mum, but yeah, just absolutely great finish to it. And number 1, my all-time favourite, is Order of the Phoenix, and for some reason I can't really put my finger on why. It's just one that when it gets around to watching them again, it's the one that I just enjoy it the most for some reason. It's like, I mean, obviously I was just going to say not a lot happens. There's a hell of a lot that happens in it. You know, we have the death of a kind of beloved character, even if he hasn't been with us for so long. You have a great battle at the end between Dumbledore and Voldemort. But it's just little things that do happen throughout it, and just the way it pans out. It's I don't know. It's just kind of that gathering of Harry's army and everything. You know, the realisation of after the Goblet of Fire, and that you do have someone to kind of go up against. You've got the really evil villain played by Imelda Staunton. I can't remember her bloody character name now. And yeah, just all sorts. I just really like it. Again, some people have kind of hated on it for, they think it goes on a bit slow, but I think there was a lot packed into that. So there we go. That's a very long question to answer, but that's my choice anyway. Those are my opinions on the Harry Potter films. So yeah, my favourite is Order of the Phoenix. Like I said, just for those reasons, really. Again, great acting in all. Excuse me, in all of the Harry Potter films. It's such a great kind of list of actors, you know, the good and great of all kind of English cinema and acting over the years, really. So yeah, great casting and great acting overall, really. So moving on now, what shall we go for? Would you rather take a definite 100,000 or a 50-50 chance at £10 million? When it comes to gambling, I don't class myself as a gambler, but I also tend not to I'm always tempted in sort of taking that risk. I'm not a complete steady Eddie, but when it comes to this, I mean, £100,000 is such a lot of money. Like, there's so much that you could do with that. I think in this case, I would have to take the 100,000. It's not, I mean, obviously you get such a massive payout if you do take that 50-50 chance. But I mean, looking at my luck over the years, I'm just not that lucky, and I know for a fact that it just wouldn't work out for me. But that chance of getting a definite £100,000, I could do so much with that. Not only for myself, but for family, for friends, and everything. Because that's the kind of, when it comes to kind of getting a lot of money, or if I think of how I'm going to spend, if I was to win the lottery or something, I'm always kind of thinking how I would, kind of spend it on others and everything. So for me, under those circumstances, I would have to take the 100,000. As amazing as it would kind of feel to take that gamble and win £10 million, it's too much of a risk to lose out on such a great amount of money. So yeah, for me there, I would have to take the 100,000, I'm afraid. This next question, I'm going to have to say it comes from Charlie because it's such a specific question, and he asks, who did you have the better trip to Manchester with, Lee or me? Basically, I've just got back from Manchester with Charlie. So earlier this year in January, me and Lee, if you watch my diaries and everything, me and Lee went to Manchester to see Phoenix Nights live. It was the opening night, the very first night that Phoenix Nights live was on at the MEN Arena. So we got there earlier in the day, we stayed overnight and everything. But unfortunately, the show itself was cut short because those of you that are in the know that night, on the opening night, unfortunately, the actor Ted Robbins, who plays Den Perry in the show, actually suffered a heart attack live on stage, which was absolutely it is the sort of worst thing I've ever seen. My heart and feelings have just never sank so quickly before. It was just absolutely horrible, a horrible feeling. I really can't quite describe it properly. To kind of see 12,000 people walking out of the same place, just to go from one extreme of being so happy and laughing and everything to just stunned silence, basically. But that aside, if you can do that, it was a great night, a great show, a great time in Manchester as well. We had a nice wander around. We stumbled upon the greatest Forbidden Planet store that exists, and we also kind of stumbled on this little hidden away Aladdin's cave of retro gaming, which was amazing. So that was a great trip. Me and Charlie have just got back from Manchester from going to see the band Area 11 that were playing at the Academy there. So again, did the same thing. We got there earlier in the day. We had sort of a day of drinking and a bit of a wander around and everything. Had a really good laugh and a great laugh and everything. The gig went on without a hitch. Nobody died. No one had a heart attack or anything. Oh yeah, I should point out that Ted Robbins didn't die. He's all good and well now and everything, and he's a lot more healthier. So he didn't die. But yeah, back to this one. No one died. It was an amazing, great gig. And even if we had to walk in the rain, and I did get 4 sets of hiccups that night walking back. And then yeah, the day after. Oh, and we did kind of get forced upon with a gypsy giving out roses and literally kind of demanding money and cigarettes off us. That wasn't too good. And then, yeah, the day after, Charlie got robbed in broad daylight. He was charged £4.50 a pint at Manchester Piccadilly Station. But I did, out of a Pokemon pack from the very same Forbidden Planet me and Lee went to, I did get a Mewtwo EX card. So, that was a pretty good thing. So, which trip was better? For me, personally, I would have to say the trip that was best for me was the... Oh, sorry about that, guys. I think technical issues must have cut out there for some reason. I don't know what happened. So anyway, that's that question dealt with and answered there. So that one's mainly for Charlie, really. So moving on. What shall we have now? What is the scariest or weirdest dream you've ever had? This is just opening a can of worms, really. When it comes to weird dreams, pretty much every night for me, I tend to have very weird dreams. It's just impossible to really keep up with them, really. And I'm kind of one of those that I don't take kind of dreams, too seriously. Like there's some people that take them so seriously and are constantly telling people about them. I suppose the weird ones for me are those where like you're in a dream and there's someone there who you know, but they're someone else, like they look like someone else or they sound like someone else even though you know them. But yeah, for weird dreams it is just actually impossible to tell you sort of the weirdest dreams. The scariest ones I suppose are like ones that actually feel like they're real. So not so long ago actually I had one where I genuinely thought I was sort of involved in a plane crash. I was out in my back garden, and because where I live under the flight path of Leeds Bradford Airport, and there was like a big family gathering at my house, and there was going to be a family gathering at my house around that time, and like I say, it was one of those that felt like it was real, and there was a plane going overhead, and it just suddenly started hurtling down to earth, and we couldn't get out of the way, and it was kind of one of those things as soon as it was getting nearer to us and just about to hit us, that's when I woke up, and that was genuine kind of shitting myself. But yeah, all ones that are like that where you kind of feel like it's so real and it's something that involves like maybe someone you know and love kind of dying or a horrible accident happening, those are always like the worst ones I think to kind of experience. So yeah, like I say, I'm not really one to kind of keep track of my dreams and everything, but yeah, that's probably the scariest one. And like I say, the weird ones are those where people are in the dream that you know, but they aren't them. So, what video games are you looking forward to next year? There's quite a few. I mean, this year for me has been a really great year of gaming, but next year I think there's a hell of a lot more big games coming out. I mean, you got Uncharted 4 coming out, you got The Division, you got the Mirror's Edge Catalyst, No Man's Sky, Horizon Zero Dawn, Dishonored 2, The Last Guardian. We've got Doom coming out, of course. I'm not sure. I hope that Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands will be coming out, although I'm not 100% sure that it will. I just really hope that it does. People for some reason think that the Final Fantasy VII reboot will be coming out, but there's no chance of that happening. I don't think so anyway. So yeah, really out of the we've got Unravel as well, which I cannot wait for that game. That's one that I am probably the one that I'm most looking forward to is No Man's Sky. I mean, I've been looking forward to that game since it kind of first got shown off, which is 2 years ago now, is it? Not the E3 that's just been the E3 before was where we kind of got the first look at it, wasn't it? So I've been looking forward to this for a hell of a long time. We know that it's going to be out, I think it said June, July time. So that one I just really cannot wait for. I've got my doubts about it at the same time, but yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to that. As I was just going to say, Unravel, the one that just kind of I wasn't expecting at E3 to take my interest, but God, I cannot wait to play that game. It looks like it's going to be such a lovely, fun, interesting little kind of puzzle platformer game. And the main character, Yanni, I really can't wait for that one. And also Horizon Zero Dawn, I would say, that kind of completes the top 3 of ones that I'm, dead looking forward to. Horizon Zero Dawn, just basically for me, it just looks like an Egret kind of third person game. The character in that just reminds me very much of Egret from Game of Thrones, but that just looks something very different and very fun. So again, I'm not sure if we've got a set release date for that, but I think it's definitely confirmed for 2016. So those are the top 3 games for me that are coming out next year that I'm looking forward to. I think we're actually out of questions. I've answered that one. I've answered Charles, and I've answered that one. Yeah, so that's it actually, guys. So I'm completely out of questions now. So as I kind of say at the end of every video, I'm desperately in need for all your questions. So I mean, you see the mixture that we've had today. And that's what I like to do. Just random questions like the Harry Potter one, or the the 50-50 gamble with money and stuff. Those are the kind of things that I like to see. And then there's more direct ones, like gaming wise, TV wise, sports wise, whatever. Whatever you want to ask, you can do it either in the comment section below on these question time videos, or you can do it at my Twitter at ChrisJonesLUFC using the hashtag Jonesy's questions, just so I can collate them a lot easier and kind of keep up to date with them. But I've got my regulars that always ask questions, like the Steve, for example, on Twitter, and there's people like Joey and Harry on YouTube that constantly ask. So I know there's a lot more people that are watching these videos, so please don't be shy to come forward with any question you want answering. It really doesn't matter what it is, there's no limits really. Obviously if things get I like to think that I've answered a lot of personal questions on here before, but if things get a little bit too personal, that's where I might kind of draw the line. But I'm usually quite open to most things. So we'll leave it there, guys. So if it is your first time here, then please do leave a like and maybe consider subscribing. That would be greatly appreciated. And thank you very much for watching, and until next time, guys, take care of yourselves, and I will see you all very soon.